Now let's check in with Bob Brooks in Bedminster, New Jersey. Bob.
Katrina, Bob, look, this indictment just didn't come out of the blue here. Everybody knew it was coming down. So did President Trump. He was prepared. He's even said that this fourth indictment going to play into his favor, that this was the final one that's really going to energize his base here to put him back into the White House. So basically what we've seen and heard from former President Trump, the same stoic response as we've seen throughout this entire indictment process here. Now, we have the initial statement from Trump and his team here from Bedminster. I'm going to bring it up. It says, quote, "These activities by Democrat leaders constitute a grave threat to American democracy and are direct attempts to deprive the American people of the rightful choice to cast their vote for president. Call it election interference or election manipulation. It's a dangerous effort by the ruling class to surpass the choice of the people. It is un-American and wrong." Now, Katrina, Bob, Trump firmly believes, and this is the position of his legal team, that a double standard has been set against him. The Democrats are trying to take away his First Amendment right to free speech and right to make sure there was a fair election. Case in point right here. Noted back in 2018, the now head of the Georgia DNC, Nikema Williams, she was arrested with 15 others for trying to prevent the inauguration of Georgia Governor Brian Kemp. But when former President Trump, he raised his concerns, he's been indicted for it. Now, we also have a statement, one John talked about on that report here from Trump's legal team. They make a pretty poignant note here that there was a lot of people out there that stood to have personal and financial gain for going after the former president here. I'm going to expand on what he was talking about here. Let's bring it up. Quote, "This one-sided grand jury presentation relied on witnesses who harbored their own personal and political interests, some of whom ran campaigns touting their efforts against the accused and or profited from book deals and employment opportunities as a result." Now, I know everybody out there is kind of wondering how former President Trump is doing right now, how he's handling all this, facing indictments, jail time. It's daunting. Well, we heard from someone today close to the president. He was with him out in Iowa. He says he's not going anywhere. Let's take a listen.
On the surface, it seems like Mr. Trump will fade under the weight of all these indictments. You say?
Oh, no, he's not fading. I was with him the other day in Iowa. Trust me. He's not fading. He's not going anywhere. He knows this is BS. The American people know that this is a two-tier system of justice. This is the gross unfairness that we see in third world countries. This is not the values of the United States of America.
Okay, Bob and Katrina, and as these indictments come down, the fourth one, President Trump said it was going to be good for him, and the numbers, well, they don't lie. You look at any of the polls right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 indictments. Well, they're going up. Trump is doing better and better with each one. Bob, Katrina, back to you.
All right, Bob Brooks, thank you very much, sir. Now, folks, let's take you through some of the basics here. Get back to them. Former President Trump was given until August 25th to surrender. That's a week from Friday, along with more than a dozen other individuals who are being charged. It's a long list, including some of Trump's closest advisors from his time in the White House. Many names that you're familiar with: Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, among those indicted. And the list includes all the people who worked alongside him, you could say, in the days leading up to the election and after it. Names like John Eastman, Kenneth Chesebro, Jeffrey Clark, and others. Well, the former president facing RICO charges now. That stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations, meaning it makes it a crime to participate in, acquire, or maintain control of an enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity or to conspire to do so. A scheme does not have to be successful for RICO charges to apply. Now, Fulton County DA Fani Willis, whom we've been talking about, brought the charges. She was first elected as a Democrat back in 2020 as the first Fulton County female DA. She spent 16 years as a prosecutor. She attended Howard University and Emory Law School. Willis was born in California in 1971. Now, interesting to a lot of folks, her father was a member of the Black Panthers. That's a Marxist-Leninist Black Power group. So again, this is now the fourth indictment of the former president. If we take a look at how we got here, take you back to April when Mr. Trump was indicted by the Manhattan DA. In June, the classified documents case, we saw that come. And then 2 weeks ago in the D.C. federal election probe, and of course, last night from the Fulton County DA. Joining us right now to discuss, former New Jersey Superior Court Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, good to see you. Let me ask you first about RICO. Number one, I guess I'm wondering, doesn't this kind of make it all one? Like it all becomes one enterprise, not one person, but you've got 19 people. Could they separate that? Is there any way the former president, could be tried individually?
Well, defendant, Bob, it's always a pleasure to be with you, my friend, and Katrina as well. Defendants in multi-defendant cases always want to be tried separately because they don't want to be in a position where they're pointing fingers at each other. That is ordinarily the decision of the court, though the prosecution gets to express an opinion on it, and the court usually defers to the prosecution. So if Fani Willis wanted them to be tried separately, it would have been 19 separate indictments. Instead, she indicted all of them in one indictment because she wants the finger pointing. Her goal is that that finger pointing will begin to occur now, long before they're in a courtroom in front of a jury, so that some of those defendants will make deals to testify against others. Example, there are 30 unindicted, unnamed, uncharged co-conspirators. Who are they? Well, they are people who formerly were involved in this, who cut deals with the prosecutor. Georgia has 16 electors, 16 members of the Electoral College. 16 Republicans signed documents saying they were the true electors. They could all have been charged with perjury because the documents, according to the government, were untrue. She only charged 4. Where are the other 12? They are government witnesses against Trump and against Giuliani. As far as RICO is concerned, RICO was written in order to help prosecutors like Rudy Giuliani bankrupt the mob. What do I mean by bankrupt? So if the prosecutor can show that the enterprise, the mob, stole $1 million, they can ask the jury for $3 million. Giuliani almost single-handedly succeeded in bankrupting the crime families in New York by getting back 3 times their illicit gains. In the criminal context, all it does is let the government tarnish you with the brush of being a racketeer. It's the same thing as a glorified conspiracy, an agreement to commit a crime that ultimately was not committed.
All right, Judge Andrew Napolitano, wish we had more time with you. Something tells me you'll be back with us soon. Thanks so much.
Pleasure, guys.
All right, and joining us to give his perspective on all of this is Professor